Welcome back to another episode of Bedwars, classic Bedwars, that is. Or we're just doing regular Bedwars. It's been a minute, so let's just jump right into it. Yeah, so it's been a minute since I played regular Bedwars. I was playing regular Bedwars pretty regularly, like, every third video or so, initially when I first started making videos, and then I started getting on the Bedwars duels, and then even then on the Bedwars duels I started shaking it up from there. So I mean, it's been a while, but I'm happy to be back in it here. So today we're going to be playing 4v4s. I've been doing solos in the background, just as kind of a preemptive build up to eventually I'm going to be playing solos. Eventually, I'm leaving the specific date quite open here, because eventually might mean literally next video, or it might mean 2030. I'm going to be doing solos eventually, so we're trying to build up, and it's actually it's a bit of a work in progress, but it's actually so far going better than I would have expected. I still think I have to get a more consistent routine early on. The type of routine that I kind of figured out on Bedwars duels, like, immediately, pretty much, like on that, like how you're gonna do your defense, and how you're gonna when you're gonna rush out, and whatnot. But in terms of like results, it's actually going a little bit better, and I think you can see in this video on fours that it's also, like, you could see it, it was kind of off and on, but I think you could see that I was getting in improved abilities as we went along. So hopefully I'll eventually become good enough at the game where I won't have to play for 5 hours just to produce. I mean, it actually wasn't that bad. Actually, there was a couple, it actually is getting to the point where there's a couple times where you get a win, but you cut out the win just because it's like not a very high quality win. You didn't really contribute, or it's I mean, you also see that on the showdown videos as well. Like, you get a win, but then but you won because like they forfeited in 2 turns, and it's like, all right, that's not really like, it's gonna match a wins quota, but it's not really gonna provide the best here. So once you get to a point where you're not so desperate to get a win, where you don't have to include all of it, you can just cut out, because you don't cut out all your losses, but like, you also, like, the quality of content that you produce, like, obviously winning is positively correlated with the quality of content. So if I was to, so like, sometimes you are gonna post losses, and I'm pretty sure there's some losses in this video, but it's right there, the fact that this video is actually mostly wins, because originally when I was doing Bedwars, like, there was no way that you could that you're getting wins at a consistent enough rate where you can make a full video of just wins, unless you played for like 12 hours and just cut it down to like a 15-minute video. But now now we're posting wins, we're getting into the win column, and eventually you get good enough where you can actually carry a team on your own, so you're not just hoping for competent teammates, which, let's be real, you're going on Bedwars with a bunch of randoms. Like, you can't hope for competent teammates and expect success. You're just not going to get that on a consistent basis. You're gonna be playing for 10 hours just to get to get competent teammates once, and then like somehow you still lose, or either that, or you get 2 competent teammates and it's like, all right, I have 3 leaderboard players and they sweep the entire game in like 2 minutes, and I don't even get to fight anybody, like there has to be some balance to it, and like I would hope, like in an ideal world, that we'd be able to have some sort of skill-based matchmaking here, but I mean, I don't know how you would have any idea of how to do that. That seems like a pretty much impossible task. I guess you could do it based on like levels, but there's no way that would really work, especially since I feel like I'm way higher level than skill level, although who knows. But I mean, what I meant was like I'm level 8. I actually entered this video level 79. I leveled up during this video, which we're actually on the road level 100, Bedwars level 100, which I think something special happens. I think your name becomes a different color. I don't think it doesn't really, nothing of significance happens, and I don't think anyone's given you bragging rights for being a silver tier Bedwars player in 2026. It's not 2013. Nobody's hyped about that, but you still see you'll still see one every now and then. You'll see a guy like level 120, and they're not a leaderboard player, but they're good enough where you're like, ooh, you see their different color and you're like, this guy must know what he's talking about, if a guy that's like level 3, 3 stars, there's like a star next to the number. I don't know if it's actually called stars, or if it's just or if that's just it's just there for aesthetics. But if a guy's there and they're like level sub 10, it's like they tell you to defend, it's like, how about you defend, buddy? All right, you're telling me to defend. You're just saying, oh, somebody should do defense. Like, telling me I'll defend if I want to defend. I was gonna defend. I didn't even want to defend anymore. I was gonna defend if you didn't ask, but now I'm gonna have to rush immediately. I'm not getting any blocks. I'm gonna get a stack of wool and I'm gonna speed bridge over an enemy base, and then I'm gonna die, and they're gonna all use the bridge I created to rush us, and then we're gonna lose. That's what's gonna happen, buddy. But I think I've definitely noticeably been having improvements that I think you could see documented, my level of prowess, just because I've been, when you're making videos, it kind of encourages you to consistently play in a way that, you weren't always doing before. And I think that's been definitely showing positive effects. I mean, positive effects. It's Minecraft skill. Let's be honest, this isn't exactly going to win me any awards here, but it kind of makes it so you feel like you're more qualified to be doing this. Who makes videos on a game they're not even good at? Come on now. But I mean, yeah, I think I've definitely have gotten a lot better, especially especially PvP wise. I mean, if you look at some of the earlier videos, or if you just look at how I was before I was making videos, I don't think I was horrible, but I think I was definitely you could definitely see a difference there. And I've also been playing 1.9, not a ton, but kind of what I was saying before, as a build up to an eventual potential potentially doing some actual significant stuff on 1.9. And I mean, I haven't, it's actually been going a lot better than you would expect in that way too. I think I definitely I would argue I'm pretty much as good, if not even better, at 1.9 PvP than 1.8 PvP, which you really wouldn't expect, because the only time I'm actually going to spend doing PvP is usually going to be on 1.8 on instead of on 1.9. Like, I'm not going to typically on your average day, like, actually do a lot of PvP. Like, if I'm playing 1.9, it's usually going to be like survival or something, or like you're building or something on crazy. You're not really going to be doing the same type of deal. But I think I don't know if it's actually because of like just the the work I've been putting on 1.8 that it's actually translated, or if it's I just happen to be more inclined to 1.9, or if it's just kind of like a fluke actually, and I'm not actually that good, which I guess is possible, but which I guess is possible, but I definitely have been feeling good in 1.9 as far as that goes, and so maybe that'll also be an avenue of something that I'll explore in the not so far future here. One thing I keep saying, I think I've said a billion times this video, but one thing I think I could definitely say as a more visible source of improvement is at least has been I've been kind of getting into more routine, specifically in, I think you could see the growth in this episode. It's not really in this video. You can see is I've gotten more of a more a more consistent approach when rushing trying to break beds, and I did get a solid amount of bed breaks during this recording. I don't know if all of them made the final video. I know there was just that one, but I think there was definitely a couple more, and that's probably been the first area of growth that and that's also me just taking better advantage of emeralds. There was like this kind of era or this this kind of phase where I was kind of like, I appreciated the value of diamonds, and then I was like all diamonds, and I wasn't even really going for emeralds. I mean, if you get emeralds for free, you might as well get them, but like you're not really going after emeralds like that. You're going after diamonds. And I still like diamonds. Prot and sharp are extremely valuable, and I definitely go after them, but I think in this video a big thing is that I've also been appreciating the value of emeralds, just because my bed rushing strategy or approach, I guess, is involving getting the invis and the speed and the jump potions. So because that's part of it, you need 4 emeralds for the full potion stuff. And just if you're getting into end games, which I was solidly getting into a couple times, a solid couple times, especially in 4v4s where games can take a very long time, the value of actually getting diamond armor and stuff ends up becoming a lot larger, because just diamond armor becomes more common. So like if you're showing up here with just iron stuff, like you're gonna have to solidly outduel the guy you're fighting if you want to have any chance at beating them and not getting beat up. Because if they have diamond armor or a diamond sword, which is gonna become a lot more common if you're playing 4v4s and you're getting into an end game, because these games last a long time, these defenses get huge, and you're going to get to that kind of final type of range, you're gonna want to get diamond armor just as like just so you could have a fighting chance. Like, although at some point also as part of the same concept where where these end games get to a very long time, is that a lot of the times you just have so much iron and so much gold that I mean, you don't necessarily always put them, you don't necessarily always use all of it, but you continuously have all of it. You just have enough where you could pretty consistently buy an iron sword for most things. So eventually you end up upgrading, because usually what I do is I usually like to have a stone sword pretty much at all times, not it's not just a sometimes I'll have a wooden sword for a little bit, but usually that'll be maybe if you're bridging one time and you're just trying to really fast bridge out, and either that or if somebody's rushing your base and you don't have time to buy a stone sword, then that's the only time you're ever going to use a wooden sword. Otherwise I pretty much always like to use a stone sword. And and eventually the iron sword basically kind of you get enough gold where you can use use an iron sword in that same type of way. And I like to I don't know how you say it, I like to divide up the videos I make into, I guess, different sections or genres or something like that. How I've been uploading Minecraft videos, and then I also upload the Pokemon videos, and they're kind of two different sections, I guess, of the thing. And I've been alternating them recently. That's not a hard line. I mean, historically I've been known. Historically I've done a couple 2 in a rows, and maybe a 3 in a row every now and then. Even within the Minecraft, you can divide that down into just doing the Minecraft Forever world, or before then the Minecraft Hardcore world, and then before, and also doing these types of videos, which is, I guess, the Bedwars, Hypixel, PvP kind of vague genre. It's kind of just been substituted around, because I've also been doing the other videos, which I mean, it's not a hard time slot. I'm not contractually obligated to make a even mix of the thing, but just kind of how I generally kind of do it. And when I've been doing the Skywars videos, that naturally would take up the Bedwars time slot times, quote unquote, which makes sense. So I guess this is kind of more the utility Minecraft time slot, which, I mean, there's also the potential what if you do something that's not Minecraft or Pokemon, or something else, then I don't know, I guess you just add another time slot, I guess, and then you just kind of stack them up. But how I like to do it is I like to kind of even out have a relatively even amount of each thing, and this genre, I guess, is the word we're going with. I like this genre. I feel like this one and the showdown videos. They're definitely, well, I mean, okay, that's 2 out of the 3 genres. So I guess that's not really I guess if it's 2 out of the 3 genres, it's not really that special. But I feel like those types of videos, they're definitely okay. Well, I guess we're just comparing them to the Forever World because that's the 3rd one. It's those types of videos are definitely easier to make, time commitment wise, or at least I feel like it is. I don't actually know if that's even true. I mean, for the most recent endeavors in the Minecraft Forever World, it's definitely true because the most recent video I made, I don't know what the most recent video from the time this will be released would be. I think it'd be the same thing just because, I mean, if anything, that shows how long this one has this video and the aftermath of that video has taken. That for once, actually, the most recent video I've made is actually the most recent video that would have been released. Because usually, well, okay, I had a stretch where I was really pumping out videos. Although, of course, the rate of pumping out videos has slowed down since I started commentating over the videos. But there was a stretch where I was really pumping out videos. So I had a whole I don't know how long it was, but it was pretty much at a month or even longer really of videos just all. And usually I upload the videos every other day because I feel that's that's kind of almost the sweet spot. And it's also it's a very easy pattern to be able to follow, instead of doing it you upload 3 times a week, but also every video must be at least 2 days. It's it's just not that complicated for me. But anyway, there was this whole backlog of videos. But now, I've kind of slowed down. So now the backlog is it's a lot shorter now. We're almost this video is it's almost it's gonna get uploaded and then it's gonna actually be released pretty quickly afterwards. And I guess the benefit of that is that I'm able to obviously I'm able to better I'm better able to make the content. Well, firstly, I'm better able to make it relevant towards things that are happening. I mean, could be relevant towards things that are happening in the real world, like the videos I made when there was all that snow. When there's all that snow coming out, I mean, both those videos did really well. So maybe I should find some way to do more stuff like that. But then also just as the standards or the quality of what I'm trying to do increases over time, because I'm obviously the switch from not commentating to commentating over it is obviously, therefore if I'm going to make a video that I'm commentating over, then obviously that would have to be after I started commentating. I can't now release a video where I'm not commentating because now I've already started commentating. Stuff like that. My content is going to be more consistent with just because as I'm trying stuff out, it's going to be more in order, I guess. Just it's going to be it's more whatever. Either way, that's going to do it for today. Make sure to subscribe, like I said, and I'll see you in the next video.